Let's talk more about cognitive load. So remember this? If you don't, you may want to check out the first video, Intro to Cognitive Load. The link is in the comments. There are actually 3 different types of cognitive load that we're going to talk about. So let's pretend I facilitated something and pour. This water is actually considered what we call intrinsic load, and that's the load imposed by the very nature of the information. So notice that this cup isn't full, which is good because we need to save space for the second type of cognitive load, which is called germane load. Remember when we talked about schema acquisition, and with each new piece of information, I had to do some work to kind of put it into the schema and then transfer it to my long-term memory. The work that's done in schema acquisition, it takes mental capacity in your working memory. And so if this would literally, the work being done, picture it, would take up this space in the working memory. And if I filled this all the way up with water, there's no space for the work. We want to leave space for that mental work that's being done. But wait, there's a third type of cognitive load. So let's pretend for a moment we're taking an e-learning. And the first concept or first chunk of information is in this little cup. So I pour it in, and all these little extra pieces came in. So instead of just filling it up to right there, like right below where it is, it filled up even more. It took up more volume unnecessarily. And guess what? Those little blue marbles, they're garbage. They don't do anything in terms of helping us learn a concept. So I teach another piece, and again, I expect that it's going to probably go up to like here. So I put it in, but these marbles keep taking up space. So what are these little nuggets of evil? Well, they're actually called extraneous load. The good news is that you have complete control over extraneous load because it's related to the way that you design content. It's not related to the complexity or the work required for learning. So what is this extraneous load? Well, extraneous load has to do with the way information is delivered. So for example, when delivering a PowerPoint presentation and you have stuff flying all over the place and bells and whistles and dings, extraneous load. When you deliver a lesson and there are words on the page and the exact same words that are on a page are coming out of your mouth, so two independent sources of information that literally say the same thing, extraneous load. When you make people reference 2 independent sources of information that they need together to understand things, but they have to reconcile it in their brain, extraneous load. So we're adding extraneous load, and notice we're not adding any more water. So we're not learning a lot. We're just adding garbage to our working memory. The next couple of videos, we'll talk a little bit about a theory set called multimedia learning theory, which I think is incredibly relevant and pertinent to this because it teaches us how to avoid some of that extraneous load that we unintentionally impose upon learners.